Good evening. Our sign language interpreter is Yulan Zale. We begin with the Jamhuri Day celebrations, and tonight, President William Ruto is turning the lying tag on his critics, slamming them for what he termed spreading falsehoods about the performance of his administration. In his Jamhuri Day speech, President Ruto lamented that cynics were mobilizing Kenyans to deny facts that they can touch, feel, and see. And as our political affairs reporter Emmanuel Tau now details, the president listed some of his factual achievements ranging from the Social Health Authority, the Affordable Housing Project, and the economy.
In his address to the nation during the Jamhuri Day celebrations at Uhuru Gardens, Nairobi, President William Ruto, who has been under a cloud of criticism from the church and the opposition, which have accused him of overseeing a failed state, full of fake and unkept promises, sought to push back, slamming those who he says are engaging in lies while criticizing his government.
We encourage everyone, including our critics, to engage on the basis of facts and the truth. If some of us persist in the culture of reckless negativity, for how long will cynics mobilize Kenyans to deny facts that they can feel, that they can touch, and they can see?
The president enumerating some of his achievements, which he maintains are factual records of success in the economy, the health sector, among others.
When we say that the cost of basic commodities has come down, it is a fact. When we say that Kenyans who have registered for Taifa Care are receiving better services than before, it is a fact.
The head of state challenging his critics to open their eyes and see the good things his administration has been doing for the past 2 years.
Skepticism must give way to confidence, and we must reject the deceptive embrace of disinformation and fake news.
The president drummed up support for his broad-based government and the new mission to reach out to leaders, including the former head of state Uhuru Kenyatta, saying it was the only way the country would move forward.
Tutazidi na kujenga daraja ya umoja na ushirikiano kati ya Wakenya wote.
Thank you for reaching out to as many stakeholders as possible to bring everyone on the table so that we can all pull in one direction of making sure that our country moves to the next level.
When these pictures of unity are seen, it increases investor confidence, it increases confidence in our country, peace and calm.
President Ruto's surprise visit to his predecessor's Ishaweri home in Gatondo, Kiambu County has elicited mixed reactions as he carries on with what he has termed as a patriotic exercise to build bridges. And after weeks of being under immense pressure from the church, the opposition and a section of Kenyans, President William Ruto has finally launched a pushback, asking his critics to be factual first and avoid misinformation, propaganda and disinformation. Emmanuel Tau, Citizen TV, Uhuru Gardens, Nairobi.
And amid skepticism surrounding the Kenya Kwanza administration, President William Ruto highlighted a series of accomplishments he claims his government has achieved. In his Jamhuri Day address, the president spoke of milestones, including a reduction in unemployment levels, the rollout of efficient, high-quality healthcare services under the much-criticized Social Health Insurance Scheme, and the completion of thousands of housing units under the Affordable Housing Program. Citizen TV's Ben Kirui with the president's self-appraisal.
From heaping praises on his administration's strides in reducing unemployment to spearheading the transition to a transformative healthcare system, President William Ruto's Jamhuri Day speech was a listing of what he described as significant achievements, the president saying the foundation had been laid and the time for harvesting was around the corner.
We are no longer where we were a year, let alone 2 years ago. We have moved beyond pledges and commitments and are now making progress in our implementation strategies.
Addressing concerns over the new social health insurance fund under Taifa Care, the president highlighted progress, noting that more than 16 million Kenyans are now registered and benefiting from efficient, effective and affordable healthcare services. He praised counties in the Mount Kenya region, including Kirinyaga, Nyeri and Embu for leading in Taifa Care registration.
In just 2 months, 11 million Kenyans who previously lacked access to healthcare services are now registered, with the registration process going full steam in every part of Kenya.
On unemployment, President Ruto spoke of his administration's success in narrowing the gap by facilitating international opportunities for skilled Kenyans, with 243,000 professionals now working abroad.
Since September 2022, more than 243,000 Kenyans have secured international job opportunities in healthcare, in agriculture and construction sectors, among other sectors. In the last 2 months alone, 12,000 have secured jobs abroad.
Marking the second anniversary of the Hustler Fund, the president lauded its impact, reporting that the initiative has disbursed Kenya shillings 60 billion, empowering citizens and freeing them from the clutches of predatory lenders. Turning to the controversial affordable housing project, President Ruto dismissed the critics and pointed to what he sees as results, announcing the completion of 1,200 housing units, with 4,888 more available for sale through the Boma Yangu platform. In his address to the nation brimming with optimism, President William Ruto urged critics to focus on the positive aspects and abandon the culture of reckless negativity. Ben Kiroi, Citizen TV, Muhuru Gardens, Nairobi.
And even as the celebrations to mark 60 years of the Republic continued across the country, in Nyandarua County, the County Commissioner Abdirizak Jardesa had a rough time reading President William Ruto's speech as angry residents disrupted him, accusing the head of state of betrayal and making empty promises. In Rongo, Migori County, the celebrations turned into a battleground as a section of residents expressed their rage and disappointment against the area MP, Paul Abor. Safin Acheng Oma reports.
What began as a promising Jamhuri Day celebrations in Engineer Ward in Kinangop constituency of Nyandarua County turned chaotic as soon as the County Commissioner Abdirizak Jardesa took to the podium. The residents who had turned out in their numbers to join the rest of the country in marking 60 years since Kenya got independence walked out on the commissioner as he struggled to convince them to allow him read the speech by President William Ruto. It took the intervention of security officers and the National Government administrative officers who protected Commissioner Jardesa as he hurriedly read the speech to a handful of residents who remained.
Affordable housing is a strategic pillar of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Has so far created 200,000 jobs and thousands of indirect opportunity across the region.
Earlier, while addressing the residents, area leaders expressed their rage, accusing the government of betrayal and making empty promises.
Sisi watu wa Mount Kenya tulipambana na tukaweka mtu anaitwa William Ruto kuwa the president of the Republic of Kenya. Na after doing that, ile tuli expect ni reciprocation. Na yeye pia atuheshimu na atupe heshima yetu.
Mambo ya barabara zetu sana sana zile ambazo tuliahidiwa na serikali kuu, bado hizo barabara hazijakamilika.
Madaraka Day celebrations in Rongo sub-county of Migori County were disrupted by chaos as rival factions turned the event into a battleground. Tension had begun simmering within the constituency after a recent publication by Mzalendo Report ranked the area MP, Paul Abor, among the least vocal members of parliament. The MP's attendance at the celebrations further fueled the unrest. Migori Governor Dr. Ochilo Ayako had to step in to calm the agitated crowd, In the midst of the escalating tension, Migori County Commissioner Mutua Kisilu,
after 1963, they became the right of their citizens,
moved in to read the president's speech in a haste and handed over the floor to Governor Ayako while barring other invited guests and politicians from addressing the gathering. And in Taita Taveta County, there was a very low turnout at Moi Stadium, the residents attributing their boycott to unfulfilled promises by the government.
Kiongozi anakuja wakati anafanya campaign, anatuahidi vitu nyingi. Alafu vitu zote hatendi. So watu wanamkinai. Wakati mtu amekuchoka, nafikiri hawezi kuja kwa sherehe kama hizi. Anaona ni kama hizi sherehe anaenda kudanganywa tena.
Wengine wanakuambia kwamba watoto wamelala wagonjwa, hawezi toka kule ache mtoto wake mgonjwa akuje hapa. Kwa sababu wamekuwa wakienda hospitali, wengi hizo SHA hazifanyi, watu wanalalamika.
The residents claim they have been forced to prioritize their own welfare after the government left them wallowing in poverty and harsh economic times.
Sahi pesa haipatikani. Na pesa haipatikani ni kwa sababu serikali kuna mahali imefinya mwananchi.
Uchumi umekuwa mbaya sana. Kusema ukweli, siwezi lala njaa na watoto na nije kushinda kwa sherehe na bado nitarudi kulala njaa.
Safin Achieng Oma, Citizen TV.
Now, Wajir Air Base officially became the latest fully operational air base following a momentous consecration, presentation and trooping of the colour by the Commander-in-Chief, President William Ruto. The trooping of the colour marks the completion of the base formation and honours the regiment's commitment to service. And as Melita Oletenges reports, the Commander-in-Chief's marching orders mark the approval to the base to protect and stay vigilant in the skies.
In their #1 dress, the Kenya Air Force officers marched proudly into Uhuru Gardens, joined by fellow soldiers from the Kenya Navy and Army, all donning ceremonial attire for the historic occasion, ready for a new chapter. Wajir Air Base's consecration and presentation of colours began. The quarterbacks or commissioned officers, accompanied by senior non-commissioned officers, laid the presidential and regimental flags atop drums before the solemn consecration ceremony led by bishops and the deputy Kadhi. Prayers were offered for protection and prosperity in their service to both God and country.
Towards our president.
The Wajir Air Base presidential colour bearing the coat of arms and national flag, alongside the regimental colour of sky blue, emblazoned with an eagle and the motto Ngao ya Anga, or shield of the sky, with 2 fighter jets soaring outward and a lightning sign. Following the consecration, the presentation of the colours took place, with commissioned officers passing them to the Commander-in-Chief, who then handed them to the colour officers who hold the rank of lieutenants. The regiment's duty is clear: to protect these colours with their lives. If lost, the regiment will be disbanded. The colour officers then marched with the colours towards the parade ground, where the trooping of the colours began in a slow, meticulous march. Parade Commander Lieutenant Colonel Pius Leshan led the procession, weaving through the parade as the colours were showcased to the spectators, who rose in respect. 3 stanzas of the national anthem would then be sung as the colour officers showcased the 2 colours in slow movement from side to side, while the parade would give a present arm salute. The trooping of the colours is a revered military tradition, a symbol of pride, unity and unwavering commitment to the regiment's mission. Next came the Commander-in-Chief's march by, as the parade, comprised of the 3 military branches, exited in formation in quick and slow march. With this ceremonial milestone, the Wajir Air Base embarks on a new era, standing tall with honor and commitment to protecting the skies. And with the Kenya Air Force consistently modernizing, it is time for the strategic unit to grow. Melita Oletenges, Citizen TV, Uhuru Gardens, Nairobi.
And that's our coverage of the day, Jamhuri Day 2024. Tonight, the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, NGAAF or NGAF, a fund whose implementation is overseen by county women representatives, is under sharp scrutiny following emergence of reports of misappropriation of funds. In Kisii County, several groups that are listed as beneficiaries of the fund have come forward to complain about misappropriation of NGAF funds, which they claim was allocated to them on paper, but siphoned to private accounts of certain individuals. And as Ode Francis now reports, the Kisii County woman representative, Doris Ndonya, has denied claims of misappropriation of funds.
It started off with claims on the social media platforms about alleged embezzlement of the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, NGAF funds intended for youth, women and people living with disabilities in Kisii County. Then followed an alleged abduction of Justin Siocha, a former manager in the office of the Kisii County Women Representative who had turned whistleblower.
I was released on a free bond. There was no cash bail from the police station, so I've been held from Thursday, 7 a.m. to today, Monday, at about 6 p.m. So then I'm told, now you can go, you are free, but we are not closing this file because this person has not surrendered the logins for that page.
We traced the whistleblower after his detention, and he explained how the NGAF funds in Kisii County were allegedly misappropriated.
So I've been working at the office of the Kisii County Women for the past 2 years as the office manager. So about 66 women groups funded, that is the report, but the bona fide members never received a single check. These groups, they have fake contacts and fake names. If it is Nyanduko Moraa, that is a made-up name with a fake number. The name and the number do not correlate. So if this is Moraa Nyanduko, you call this number, it will give you it is Cherotich, or it does not exist.
Guided by documents we obtained, we followed the NGAF money trail that took us to groups that were supposed to have benefited. Our verification process began with Itiero Plaza Women Group in Bonchari and Masaba Youth Group in Bubasi, Sameta in Kisii County. The groups had been supposedly been funded by the NGAF.
Pesa zilitokea, but sisi chama yetu ijaipata hiyo pesa. Sasa tunauliza nani alikuwa ataweza kuwa alichukua hiyo pesa zetu.
We applied for funds at the Women Reps office, and we have a project. So we went to the office of the Women Rep to confirm. So we were shown a list where our group was funded 100,000, of which we didn't receive the money.
Igonga Market Shed, according to documents seen by Citizen TV, received 250,000 shillings, but things appear different on the ground.
Kuna majina ambayo yametajwa hapa kwamba kuna chama kimepewa pesa hapa kinaitwa Igonga Market Shed. Hatuna aina ya chama chochote kinaitwa jina Igonga Market Shed. Hapa tuko na chama, tuko na sako inaitwa Igonga Market, Igonga Traders Sako.
The script was the same with the Nyangiri Self-Help Group and Insarai Ndagu in Kitutu Chache North.
Kuna grupu nimesikia zimepata pesa za NGAF, kuna yenye inaitwa Insarai Ndagu, kuna hiyo ingine inaitwa Nyangiri Self-Help Group. Kwa listi yangu kwa hizi grupu zenye niko nazo saa mwenyewe hakuna, kwa CDDC yangu hakuna grupu kama hizo. Sababu kwa hata ile grupu mimi mwenyewe niko niliambiwa kuna masharti mingi sana iko kwa pesa ya NGAF. Naambiwa a group lazima iwe na more than 100 members. So unajua na group kupata watu 100 si rahisi.
The funds are managed by the Office of the Women Representative in Kisii County, Doris Ndonya. We reached out for her response on the allegations of misappropriation.
So hii vitu ya kuchapa the office of the woman rep, nyinyi kama watu wa media mnajua mambo na investigation. Aya, na ukiona mtu amekuja kulalamika hajapata pesa ya chama, hebu muombe chama yake, ako na members wangapi kwa hiyo chama, akupee signature apply na sisi. Check all those facts, alafu mjue how to tackle issues, but everything mimi naweza waambia ni vile sipendi kulelea nikifanywa kitu, it is all about politics.
The Kisii woman representative claims the allegations were politically motivated, but her former staffer turned whistleblower maintains that the funds were embezzled.
Mumeona documents za serikali zikikuwa mtaani? No. So hao wenye wako na hizo vitu, alafu kuna hata Photoshop. Muliona hata Mtata vile alisema anauliza president, mtu ashachukua picha ya Mtata, amechukua picha ya Karen, ameunganisha mpaka watu wanafikiria ni ukweli. So swali mzuri ni kuuliza huyu finance office, hii kitu watu wanasambaza imetoka wapi? Juu mimi ninajua public document is a private document.
So this is an authentic document. These are authentic documents that you find at Ngaf, Kisii, Ngaf headquarter Nairobi. This corruption runs up to the Ngaf headquarter. So the CEO, Roy Sasaka, you should also give him an exclusive to explain who should certify that one. Let EACC go and investigate. If it is a sham, if it is politics, if it is Photoshop, then it will be known it was Photoshop. Then everybody will be satisfied. But will Photoshop end up to a point where when you do bank reconciliation that man has been withdrawn, they are checking numbers there, so the photoshopped checks, they ended up in a bank to withdraw money.
We randomly picked a group in this batch of groups indicating checks given and funding happened. To ascertain the officials of the group through calls, we established a whole different story. Kulingana na hii document unaitwa Sarah Ratemo. 0724 kuna women group hapa ambayo ilifandiwa pesa kutoka Kisii County.
Kisii?
Yes, inaitwa Nyambasi Women Group. Unaijua?
Hapana.
Hauijui?
Sijui.
Kuna 450,000 ambayo hii group ilipewa na wewe ndio chairman kulingana na Ngaf.
No. Tafuta long number. Hebu tafuta mwenye alibeba hizo pesa. Mimi siko na hizo mapesa. Group gani sasa hiyo?
Kuna group inaitwa Kambanane Women Group. Na kulingana na document, inatuambia hiyo document inaitwa wendo chairman wa hiyo group, acha lady wa hiyo group, na jina lako ni Evelyn Kenyanya. Okay.
Hiyo ni Mkisii.
Huyo ni Mkisii na wewe nasikia.
Huyo hapa ni Mkisii.
Na
mimi kwa Embu County sasa mimi ni Mwembu. Mimi kwa Embu County bwana.
He paid himself 692,000 on behalf of 2 women groups. And it was certified by him, and the registered accountant signed. Everything was done. The balance, the less balance was here.
Citizen TV wanted to find out why Justin decided to expose the anomalies at the Kisii Ngaf office.
When I was approached with such kind of information, at first I was hesitant. What was I supposed to do with them? I kept them to myself about 2 months. I did not know which route to take. Should I take them to EACC? Should I take them to DCI? Should I go back to them, to my former boss, and maybe blackmail her to give me some money so that I drop it because this is a dossier? What should I do with this? So then I decided, why can't it be go public so that if the systems work, then the truth at the end should come out.
We requested the CEO Ngaf, Roy Sasaka Telewa, to authorize one Timothy Nyanduso, who is adversely mentioned in the financial report, to speak to us after he requested he can only speak if given permission.
Uongea na mkubwa wangu before I comment on such. I don't know, what do we do?
Mdosi wako ni nani?
Roy Sasaka is the CEO.
CEO
Ngaf. I don't like media that much. I am... Then why can't you engage? Okay, we can't compel the officer to respond, No, he had been transferred to Kisumu before we got the information, The transfer to Kisumu was an administrative decision because the officer in Kisumu had proceeded on maternity leave, But when now we received the information, we got a whistleblower on the same. That was a decision that was made by the board just recently.
When was it?
That was we had a special meeting in this week, beginning of this week. Yeah, and then the officer has been suspended, so we cannot authorize him to respond.
Later, the CEO shared this letter confirming that indeed they were investigating Kisii County, and I quote, "Upon receiving reports of potential funds misuse in Kisii County, we immediately initiated investigations into the matter. To ensure the integrity of this process, the officers involved has been suspended pending the outcome of the investigations. Should any wrongdoing confirmed, the fund is committed to taking commensurate corrective measures." End of quote. We also inquired with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC about the case.
We have that complaint. It is a new complaint which we've just received, I think a week ago or so, and it's going through the analysis process. It is a new matter, but once we are able to understand or rather clearly identify the issues, we will deal with them as they are.
Ode Francis, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
At the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the debate, which is scheduled to kick off at 7 p.m, is set to provide a platform for candidates to discuss their vision, priorities and ideas on various policy issues aimed at realizing the AU's Agenda 2063. Seth Olale is in Addis Ababa.
Kenya's candidate for the African Union Commission chairperson was received by the deputy head of mission at Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Petronila Were. Raila later headed to the African Union's multipurpose hall, where he met other candidates for the African Union Commission chairperson, Mohamed Ali Yusuf of Djibouti, and Madagascar's Richard Randriamandrato.
Let me just greet you.
The trio were taken through a rehearsal ahead of Friday's Mjadala Africa debate. The 2-hour-long debate will be televised live on Citizen TV from the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, from 1900 to 2100 hours East Africa time. Raila, who embarked on a vigorous shuttle diplomacy for his AUC chairperson bid, is expected to present his 10-point plan on economic transformation, infrastructure development, financial independence, gender equity and equality, agricultural transformation, climate action, harnessing youth potential, digital transformation, and artificial intelligence, touching on continental integration and peace and security across the continent. The 2024 edition of the Mjadala Africa debate presents a landmark event in the lead-up to the election of the new chairperson of the African Union Commission in February 2025. The stage here at the AU headquarters is set for the 2024 edition of the Mjadala Africa, an opportunity for all the three candidates to present their manifesto to the 55 member states that make up the AU. Seth Olale, Citizen TV, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
And that debate will be live on Citizen TV. Be sure to catch it from 7 p.m. tomorrow. But there's someone who is live for us from Addis Ababa, and that is Stephen Leto, who is also there for the coverage of this particular debate. Stephen, good evening. What can you tell us in as far as the program of the day tomorrow is concerned as the candidates prepare for that Mjadala?
Well, good evening, Sam, from the African Union headquarters. We are coming to you live from where the action will be taking place tomorrow. This is inside the multi-purpose hall that is just opposite the Nelson Mandela plenary, right inside the AUC headquarters. This is where the three candidates will be squaring it out tomorrow. There are, of course, three of them because two dropped out of the race. The candidate from Kenya, Raila Odinga, the candidate from Djibouti, Ali Yusuf, as well as the candidate for Madagascar, Richard Ryanmandrata. And those will be the three candidates who will be at the podium. They have already done their rehearsals, and we have been able to just have a look at how the day will be looking like and how the debate will equally be looking like. There has been rules and procedure that has been given to all the three candidates that will be taking part in tomorrow's debate, that is Mjadala Africa, and that is 15 minutes as opening remarks from all the three. That is 15 minutes for the three candidates, and then there will be now a question and answer session from the moderators for the Mjadala Africa, and then later on, then reactions from members of the continent from online to those who will be present right here inside the multi-purpose hall. They will be asking questions directly to the candidate, and they will be able to be responding. Very key issues tomorrow will really shape the race on who will be the successor of Musa Faki, the Chad nationalist, who is the current AUC chair. And that, of course, has been termed as it will be a debate that is likely to, tilt the vote, and that is why it is very critical for the three candidates to debate and, showcase what they can do from security, the continental security, food security, agriculture security in the continent, infrastructure, and all that. And so that is what we have from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. We'll be coming, of course, with more from this end right tomorrow when the debate kicks off at 7 o'clock local time.
All right, thank you so much, Stephen Leto. I don't know who is dimming the lights for him, but that's what will be happening tomorrow. Be sure to catch that conversation from 7 p.m. live on Citizen TV. Yeah, there he is. But good night, Stephen and Seth. We'll see you tomorrow. But in the meantime, to another story this evening. Two families in Bomet County are seeking answers from the government on the whereabouts of their kin. The two men, Kevin Kiplangat, alias Elvis, and Dominic Kipngeno, alias Muge, were abducted by armed men believed to be police officers while driving along Maimahiu Road on the 7th of December 2024. Families say efforts to trace the missing persons have proved futile, and their whereabouts remain unknown for the last 5 days. And as Franklin Wala now reports, police say investigations into the mysterious abduction is ongoing.
This Toyota Prado, which Kevin Kiplangat alias Elvis Kiplangat and Dominic Kipngeno alias Hilarious Muge were driving on their way to Narok from Nairobi moments before their abduction. Witnesses say a Subaru motor vehicle which had trailed the Prado and which had armed men fired at the vehicle and deflated it. The Prado veered off the road, and is at that point that the occupants were abducted by hooded armed men. Those abducted were Kevin Kiplangat, Dominic Kipngeno, and a female adult. Soon after, their mobile phones were switched off as police towed the Prado to Lari police station. The reasons for their abduction remains unclear, even as families of victims demand answers from the state on their whereabouts.
Tumepoteza ndugu wetu na hatujui nani alimpeleka. Hata ndio huyu mama wetu ajui hata vile ataongea. Juu tunasikia uchungu sana kupoteza mtu na ajulikani mali ako.
Halafu jioni nikajaribu kumcall, simu yake ilikuwa inaenda through. Lakini Friday tukapata ripoti gari iko kwa barabara na hatujui penye wako.
The families say they were headed to Bomet County, to be specific, their hometown Molot.
We all know holding people in Communicado is an illegality. So the government through the DCI should come out clearly and tell us where our people are. If they committed any offense, we have all the rights to know where they are.
A quick online search exposes the rooted crime history of Kevin Kiplangat, who is among the missing persons. Kevin Kiplangat, alias Elvis Kiplangat, was once arrested in February 2024 as DCI detectives conducted an operation targeting SIM swap fraudsters in Bomet County. During the same period, Kevin Kiplangat and others were arraigned at Kericho Law Courts to face robbery with violence charges. It is not yet clear whether their abduction is linked to a wide web of online fraudsters and fraudulent activities undertaken by online scammers in the cyber world. Police say investigations into their mysterious abduction is ongoing. Franklin Wala, Citizen TV.
To another story now, the Safaricom Sambaza Furaha Caravan began a 3-day tour of the coastal region to spread joy and love to its loyal customers. The giant mobile company has partnered with the Royal Media Services to celebrate 24 years of service. Our reporter Miriam Nyambura was there.
Safaricom Sambaza Furaha Caravan continued with its tour of different parts of the country. After concluding the tour of the lower eastern region of Kitui, Makueni and Machakos, the caravan landed at the coast and will traverse various parts of the coastal towns for the next 3 days.
Tomorrow we are heading to the coast region, looking forward to engaging with our customers as we Sambaza Furaha for Christmas. It's about giving back, saying thank you to our customers, appreciating them, and also engaging and also helping them in driving and understanding our products much more better.
The caravan will on Friday tour Likoni, Mtongwe, Kwale, Kombani and Sambweni. Bahari FM and Radio Citizen fans will interact with their favorite presenters.
Ndio mkoko unalika maua. Wale ambao walikuwa natusubiri wakisema jamani tunaona furaha inasambazwa katika maeneo mengine, mbona huku pwani hamfiki? Ndio tunaambia tumefika.
Kwa hivyo tunawaahidi tuweze kukutana katika barabara zote za ukanda huu wa pwani kama ratiba ilivyoweza kutolewa ili tuweze kuzawadiana angalau msimu huu. Sisi tukiwa na furaha pia nyinyi mna furaha, ndio taifa lote liweze kufurahika.
Coastal musicians will entertain the residents as the mobile company spreads joy by showering them with gifts ahead of the festive season.
Kuna offers nyingi kampuni ya Safaricom wanazo kama vile inaweza tunukiwa, ambapo sasa hivi wale ambao wangependa kujumuika na kukutana na jamaa na marafiki zao wakati wa Christmas, tunukiwa ziko pale. Offer hiyo unabonyeza *444# unapata kuzungumza kwa zaidi, unapata kutumia data bundle kwa bei rahisi.
Safaricom wamekuja kuwashukuru wale ambao ni wateja wao, na sisi kama Royal Media tunakuja pia vile vile kushukuru wale ambao ni mashabiki wetu na kuhakikishia kwamba bado ubora wa vipindi iwe ni runinga iwe ni radio ni ule. Tukianza mwaka mpya watarajia makubwa.
The Sambaza Furaha Caravan has traversed Rift Valley region, Western, Nairobi, Central, and now the coastal region. Miriam Nyambura, Citizen TV.
All right, with that story by Miriam Nyambura, we're taking another break here on Tonight. When we come back, we have more stories, including this.
Your skin naturally connects with nature and recognizes the goodness of native ingredients, which is why AfriSense Toning Bathing Bar is packed with African ingredients. AfriSense, discover the secrets of African beauty for your skin.
Welcome back. Police in Nakuru are holding a mother and her son for allegedly dousing the woman's husband with acid. It is reported that Elijah Matoke died at the Nakuru Provincial Hospital while undergoing treatment. Emily Chebet reports.
A somber mood engulfed the home of Elijah Matoke following reports of his untimely demise. According to the neighbors, Matoke was doused in acid inside his house.
Nikasikia woi nisaidieni. Ya kwanza nika-assume kwa sikuona kama inaweza kuwa jambo. Ya pili bado inaendelea kupasist. Ya tatu nikasema hapana. Si nikatoka tu hivyo venye nilikuwa kufika kwa nyumba, mimi nikafunua tu curtain. Nikapata Matoke amekaa hapo kwa kiti. Na kuangalia nikaona kabisa alikuwa pink. Na nikauliza hao watoto, "Maina nini mmefanyia baba yenu?" Wakaniambia hatujui nani amemwagilia dada acid.
The late Matoke and his wife are said to have lived together for 3 years. The neighbors say the two have been embroiled in domestic disputes for a long time, only for the wrangles to turn tragic on Wednesday.
Ilikuwa around 6:40 nikiwa kwangu Kericho, naishi Kericho. Nikashtuka, sikuambiwa nini. Nikaambiwa tu ebu kimbia umeongea na dadi. That was my uncle. Umeongea na dadi? Nikamwambia mimi dadi niliongea naye jana mchana. Akaniambia ebu kimbia, ni kama mambo si mazuri.
Lakini ukiangalia hii mapenzi yao haikuwa mapenzi ya mapenzi, ilikuwa mapenzi ya pesa. So nimekuja nikisolve issues kwa hizi nyumba several times. Kwa wakati mwingine nimekuja huku ati kama Matoke hana pesa, Matoke si mwanaume wa nyumba.
Matoke was rushed to hospital, but he succumbed to the injuries 4 days later. Police are investigating the matter before the two are taken to court to answer to charges.
We've already arrested the wife and the son, and they're in custody helping us with the investigations. And once investigations are complete, we are going to arraign them in court with the offense of murder.
Emily Chebet, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
More than 400 students from the University of Nairobi's School of Business, Kabete campus, have threatened to disrupt the institution's graduation ceremony scheduled for tomorrow. They are demanding an explanation for being excluded from the graduation list, alleging it was a deliberate move by the administration. The students have given the university an ultimatum, which includes to include their names on the list of first protests at the main campus, calling for the removal of the Dean of the Faculty of Business and Management. Willie Lusige reports.
With the University of Nairobi graduation just 1 day away, tensions are rising at the School of Business, Kabete campus. The Dean of Faculty of Business and Management Science, Professor James Githi, faced the wrath of the students who sought to know why more than 400 of them, comprising those graduating with undergraduate and master's degrees, were excluded from the graduation list without satisfactory explanation.
This act is not only a blatant violation of our rights, but also an unacceptable breach of the trust students place in the institution.
The affected students claimed they were informed that an audit of all graduates was being conducted, but the process could not be completed on time. As a result, they were left off the list with no further clarification on the audit's purpose or outcome.
We have parents, we have people from all over the country who have just come to watch us graduate, but they can't do that. Why? Because of the simple fact, because of 2 people are missing out the mark, so 350 students have to suffer due to the consequence of 2 people who are illegally put into the graduation list as per se. We have not even confirmed that.
Despite receiving congratulatory SMS messages and securing graduation gowns, the students now find themselves stranded, unable to graduate without any clear reason from the administration.
And this associate dean is the one who seems to be powerful. His name is Dr. Githi. For accountability,
Githi must go.
For students to graduate,
Githi must go.
We will not relent to see University of Nairobi being overtaken by small universities, others, because of the management, and therefore this is a warning from the students.
The students have threatened to disrupt the graduation ceremony unless their names are added to the list. They are determined to continue with their protests until action is taken against those responsible for the omission.
The junior students coming from third years all the way up to first years, they're all worried with this one question: will they finish school? That's the key question. Will we finish school? We want to know, and that can only be demonstrated once our seniors are given a chance to graduate.
We will explore every avenue available to us, including further peaceful demonstrations and legal redress to ensure justice is served.
Willie Lusige, Citizen TV, Kabete.
And now back to the theme of the day. While the national celebrations of the 61st Jamhuri Day were underway at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi, counties across the country also marked the occasion with local events. However, tension and disruption marred the celebrations in some counties where disagreements between leaders and residents took center stage. Francis Mtalaki paints a picture of Jamhuri Day celebrations across the country.
In Kakamega and Narok counties, Governors Fernandez Baraza and Patrick Ole Ntutu led their residents in peaceful celebrations. Both leaders urged unity and called on politicians to put aside divisive politics and focus on development.
Sisi kama viongozi ambao tulipewa nyadhifa tofauti, lazima tufanyie watu wetu maendeleo ili kifika mwaka 2027 nyinyi kama wale ambao ni employers wetu mtakuwa na register, mtakuwa mnafanya ile marking ya register.
In Kericho County, Governor Eric Mutai called on Kenyans to support President William Ruto in his efforts to fulfill campaign promises and foster national unity.
The project is expected to commence in January 2025 and will be completed in December 2026. I want to thank the President for that consideration.
In Makueni and Kajiado counties, Governors Mutula Kilonzo Jr. and Joseph Olelenko used the occasion to highlight the urgent need to reconstitute the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC). They warned that time is running out for electoral reforms.
It is time to bring your heads together and in a bipartisan way give us an IEBC that will conduct the elections of 2027. This country is tottering with disaster by avoiding the question of an IEBC.
Imekuwa ni changamoto kutimiza maneno ya kutoa constituency kama hiyo yetu ya Ilchamus, na pia tunajua kuna sehemu nyingi labda hawana wabunge kwa sababu moja ama nyingine, na njia ya kutoa boundaries kwa sehemu tofauti ni mpaka kuwe na hiyo commission.
At Muhima Grounds in Likoni, Mombasa County, County Commissioner Mohamed Noor reassured residents and tourists of heightened security measures during the festive season.
So tunataka tusaidiane, tushirikiane, tuone kwamba Mombasa inaenda mbele.
In Nyeri County, County Commissioner Ronald Miwawi expressed concern over the resurgence of illicit brews, urging residents to support security efforts in addressing the issue.
Hatujafungia mtu kufanya starehe zake, lakini sisi ambacho tunachozuia ni Mkenya wa kawaida kukunwa sumu. Kuna watu wanajali pesa badala ya kujali afya.
Similar celebrations were held in Machakos, Turkana, Homa Bay, Kisumu, Kisii and Nyamira counties, with leaders and residents coming together to commemorate the country's independence and reflect on its progress. Francis Mtalaki, Citizen TV, Mombasa.
Right, once again, it's time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be focusing on the sport. Now, in sports, FKF Premier League leaders KCB were held to a barren draw by Sofapaka FC to miss out on a chance to further widen the gap at the top of the standings. KCB are only 3 points ahead of Bandari and Tusker FC in second position, having played a game more. Only 4 points separate 9 teams from the second to the 10th positions. Kariobangi Sharks missed the chance to climb to fourth when they were held to a 2-all draw by Nairobi City Stars, who climbed 3 places to 11th with the point earned in the match. The next fixtures are tricky for the teams at the top, as KCB will travel to face Shabana FC in Gusii on Saturday. Bandari host Mathare United, while Police FC will be at home against Gor Mahia. Tusker play at home against the unpredictable Bidco United on Sunday.
Moja. Jacob Otieno Odhiambo Alvaro. Isaac Otieno Wasambo. Sensational Andreas Odhiambo. Sense baba. Andreas Sense. Anasema ni hapa. Kulia kule Roland Makati. Anza naye tena Yuto Kusaba. Tumia gula kushoto, analeta ndani huku. Anaenda juu Brian Mzele Somondi. Wamerudi tena Simba Nairobi. Brian Mzee Omondi.
Now, Senator George Mbugua clinched a rare bronze medal for Team Kenya in the darts competition at the ongoing East African Parliamentary Games in Mombasa. Mbugua finished third behind Tanzania's gold medalist Yahya Ali Mwata and silver medalist Uganda's Mumali Mpindi. Mwata was in great form as he won 5 out of 5 matches to clinch gold. Mpindi won 4 matches and only lost to the winner Mwata. In the team doubles, MP Tim Wanyonyi and Janet Sitine made Kenya proud as they floored Rwanda's pair of Eugene Mussolini and Alex Bahati with a 2-0 score. Tanzania were again dominant in the team doubles as Yahya teamed up with Yahya Masare to edge out the Ugandan pair of Mpindi and Balimwezo Nsumbuga 2-1. The team doubles finals will be played on Friday. Kenya also did well in netball, beating the Iala team 46-31. The National Basketball Association NBA, through the Junior NBA program, has been urged to work with the Kenya Academy of Sports to develop basketball talents in Kenya. The NBA set up an office in Kenya in 2024, while the Kenya Academy of Sports has been running the school's holiday camps for emerging talents during the long holidays. Mombasa has been the bedrock of basketball talents over the years, with schools like Mombasa Baptist and Kaya Tiwi dominating the national competitions. The emerging talents from the coast are currently in camp at the Mombasa Baptist School under accomplished coach Justus Akwesa, who is also a qualified referee. Akwesa says he has been impressed by the talents in camp, and it will be a tough call to pick the required few for the elite camp in Nairobi next week. The coach now wants the government to focus on basketball infrastructure development across the country, as well as more holiday training camps if the game is to grow in all the regions in the country.
It is a privilege to have the NBA who have actually come in on board. My humble request will be, if they want now the players, they could actually get in touch with CAS. CAS could give them a good number of players that they want, so that now they can select from there.
The race for promotion to the top-tier FKF Premier League remains wide open following midweek matches played across the country. Leaders Nairobi United and third-placed 3KFC settled for a barren draw as second-placed Fortune Sacco were hammered 3-0 by MCF. The slip-ups at the top allowed Kisumu All-Stars to move closer to the top with a 1-0 win over fourth-placed APS Bomet. Leban Otieno scored the all-important goal for Kisumu All-Stars in the 67th minute. Coach Charles Bruno was elated with the win, as every point against the top six is valuable in the title race. Though only 12 matches have been played in the 20-team Super League, the top 9 clubs are in a cutthroat race for promotion. Kisumu are now 6th with 19 points, same as Luanda, Villa, Kibera and Daraja.